Hello, Daz Studio enthusiasts. This is Not From This World, and I want to welcome you back to my tutorial series. Now, today I want to do an update on this video that I did a couple months ago, where I talked about how to layer different clothing. And what I did was I took some non-dForce clothing and then layered dForce clothing on top of it, showing you the fit tool and how you can go to your clothing items in the parameters tab and use the fit. Now I really need to update this because Ray Jennings 454 mentions the mesh smoothing. So he says another trick that sometimes helps with layering is the mesh smoothing. And so I want to talk about this because it is very handy. So what we're going to do is we are going to add multiple dForce layers to Milica here. And I've got one layer of clothing, which is her Dallas wardrobe crop top, which is a product from OOT, and it's just right here. So I just gave her some shorts and this crop top. And what I want to do is I want to add dForce layers on top of this. And in my other video, I talked about poke through and those kind of problems. If you use the mesh smoother, it eliminates a lot of those issues. So I'm going to add this dForce shoulder midriff t-shirt, and I'm going to select Milica, of course, and just add this. And you're going to notice we have that same problem where the layering is just not working very well because our crop top is poking through the new shoulder midriff t-shirt. So if I select that t-shirt and then in my parameters tab, I'm going to go down past where I went in the last video with the constraints, and I'm going to go to mesh smoothing. And if you notice with the mesh smoothing, it also has a collision item. Now I can change this collision item to the crop top, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to select and then go down in this folder and select the Dallas wardrobe crop top, and that is going to now cause this t-shirt to fit onto our crop top instead of Milica herself. So in a perfect world, that would be all we would need to do. So let's just do a simulation to see what's going to happen. I have my start bones from Memorize Pose on, so Milica is going to go into her A pose as she simulates. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the simulation is done. It took a couple minutes, about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and we still have this poke through problem. Now, what's really cool about the mesh smoothing is it has two tabs. It has smoothing iterations and it has collision iterations. What's really cool about this is we can manipulate those tabs and fix the poke through. So let's try the smoothing iterations first. It's defaulted at 2. So I'm just going to click on this, move it to 3, 4, 5, and notice I just fixed that poke through. So now if I run an iRay preview, Milica is looking super good here with the 2 layers. So very cool. I really love this. Okay, now let's go back to our content library, and I am going to add that sweater that I added in the previous video. I'm going to add it to Milica as well, and we're going to see if we can layer it on top of this t-shirt. So I'm going to select Milica, and I'm going to select this sweater. Okay, now we want to do the same thing that we just did with the t-shirt, we want to do with the sweater. So I'm going to find the sweater in my scene tab. It's right here. And under the parameters tab, in mesh smoothing, I am going to select the collision item to now be the t-shirt. This is something that we couldn't do in my previous video. You could only collide one item at a time in the way that I was showing you a couple months ago. This mesh smoother is going to allow you to make multiple layers of collision items. So with that selected, I'm just going to hit accept, and you can see it already tried to fix it, but we're going to re-simulate. So I'm going to go back to simulate settings. Let's clear it out and then re-simulate. Okay, so this simulation is now finished. It took just over 3 minutes, so a little bit slower, but now you can see that Milika has 3 layers of clothing on. And what's really cool about this is that 2 of the layers are dForce layers. So if you need to layer clothing, I would definitely try out the mesh smoother. It's going to really help you. And what's awesome about this is you don't need to do a bunch of pre-work. If you still have poke through, then just after you simulate, dial up the smoothing iterations or the collision iterations just one at a time, and that will fix any poke through that you have. Okay, so I hope that this helps you out a little bit more when you're dealing with clothing. I love multiple clothes, and it looks so good that she's got 3 layers. So if you have any other suggestions, please let me know, and I would love to learn more about this. And also, it can enable me to make perhaps a tutorial about your suggestions, just like I did here. So again, a shout out to Ray Jennings 454 for giving me this suggestion. Such a good idea, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to definitely be using the mesh smoother option a lot more when I'm adding clothing to my characters. So until next time, keep rendering. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give me comments, and have a wonderful day.